If you're tired of watching your ads flop more than a fish on land and seeing your hard-earned money go down the drain into the Mark Zuckerberg yacht and Sweet Baby Ray fund, then keep watching, because I'm going to give you my step-by-step blueprint to creating winning video and image ads that slap harder than your daddy's belt and give you the visuals, the frameworks, and the strategies, the Jedi mind tricks essentially, that get people to whip out their credit card and slap it on the screen after they see your ads. So if you don't want to stay broke forever, then keep watching, because I'm even going to make some winning ads live in front of your face for a product that I've never seen before, which honestly, I should be charging you thousands of dollars for, but because it's 4 a.m. and I'm feeling eccentric, I'm going to do it on the house. Now, just to show you actually know what I'm talking about, here's multiple stores of mine that are both doing over $1 million a year combined. So I actually do know a thing or two about dropshipping, believe it or not. Now, I have coached hundreds of students. I've seen thousands of ads, and I've corrected so many beginner mistakes. And it really, the two biggest beginner mistakes of why your ads are flopping and they are softer than Charmin toilet paper is, one, you have not studied, bro. Now, what do I mean by that? And I apologize for my dyslexic spelling. When you are trying to do anything in life, especially creating a winning ad, you need to have a frame of reference. You should have a catalog in your head of hundreds, if not thousands of ads that you have studied to notice the trends in the way the hooks are done, the frameworks, the visuals in the hooks, the visuals in the rest of the ad, the editing style, the music, all the different parts that come together to make a winning ad. If you don't know those, like the back of your freaking hand, if you have not studied overwhelmingly what is working, you are not going to create a winning ad. So what I would recommend doing, even if you don't watch this video to the end, study your last 5 to 15 ads. Notice, and I want you to watch the entire ads, what you did in the hook, what you did in the visuals, what you did with the music, what you did with your script, and compare it by going on to Calidata and actually watching the most proven ads. If you go to the video and ad category, you can just see right here, all of these ads have done over 50K, 100K individually from that one ad alone. So what you should do is, let me notice the trends. What are the frameworks? Because obviously on YouTube, people are going to tell you, do this framework, do this, do the blah, 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 blah. The best way to know what's working is go right to the freaking source and just see what's working. This is what I will do. And if you're not studying ads at least 1 hour a week, you are falling behind the 8 curve and you are never going to be successful dropshipping. This is something you have to do just so you can stay in the game, so you can stay sharp, my friend. So let's just see. All right, what are they doing in this ad? Product demo clips, changing the screen every couple seconds, not having any actual talking from the looks of it.
Graduate with honors.
I can't play the rest of this, otherwise this video will get copyrighted and Ethan needs to make his money and pay his rent. But as you can see, and this is something I'm seeing a lot lately, a lot of people will do these 10 to 15 second videos where they will just put text on screen, have people read it, and that's fine. They're not doing heavy selling. It's so natural. It's so authentic. And for some reason, the audience of young females, maybe even older females in this case, Pilates is kind of in between, seem to really like this. It's very natural. It's not too pushy. And they click on these ads, they get engaged, and they buy the product once they see the product page. So what does that mean for you? That means you should notice these trends and start implementing it a little bit in your next tests. See if it works for you, because maybe you're overcomplicating things. Maybe you're going too long with your scripts. Maybe you have too much fat. What I tend to notice, if we hop back on with the you haven't studied bro part, is that, let's say for instance, you have to network with a high network individual like, I don't know, a Tristan Tate, and you were at a cocktail party with him, and it was your job to bring the whiskey, and you didn't know what to get. Simply because you didn't study and you didn't see that video of him saying that Johnny Walker was his favorite whiskey. And if you did that, you could have been sipping it by yourself in the war room with him, chilling, because you studied. Now, when it comes back to the ads, you need to be able to first get the basics. And once you've done this process of setting thousands of ads on both Calidata and PP ads, save it into a folder on Google Drive, on an app like Foreplay. For me personally, I have a Notion document, as you can see right here, where if we go back, I have tons of frameworks. I have all of this frame of reference so that when I pick a product, I know, okay, here are my main frameworks that I know work for me. Here are the main frameworks for images, videos. So that way I can just choose, I can just plug and play. I already have all the templates ready to go. Super simple. You need to start building this if you don't already have it, because the process will be so much more efficient. You'll make much higher converting ads, and you will know that they are proven because you did your research and you know the ads that you have ripped that, and you're not even ripping them essentially. You're just gathering the frameworks, you're gathering the templates are proven. It doesn't have to be in the niche of your product, but it can be in other niches. And then you apply the lessons, you apply the editing style, you apply the script, you apply the emotions, you apply every little thing and then apply it to your product, and it will still work and translate. So that's the first thing. You need to study ads, because if you don't study ads, what ends up happening is you write generic copy. And that's a huge, huge issue. Most dropshippers, when they are writing out their scripts, it sounds very robotic. You're not putting yourself in your customer's shoes, because simply you don't give a fuck. You don't care enough to research your audience, when realizing that if you want to make money, you are going to have to give a fuck. You are going to have to put in 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, actually reading reviews, using your ChatGPT prompts to make it more efficient, but you need to do the research. This is the process that you can't skip. This is the dirty work. And if you're afraid to do the dirty work, if you're too lazy to do it, then you don't deserve to make money in the first place. It's as simple as that. So you need to equate those two things together, and you have to be able to make people feel something, make people feel an emotion, make people feel urgency to solve a problem. And if you don't know that problem, or if you do and you don't know how to articulate it in the right way that's relatable enough for someone to take action, then they're not going to buy. And that's why I highly recommend study what people are doing, validate on PP ads. It's $70 a month. If you can't afford that, then you got bigger problems in your life and you shouldn't be starting a business in the first place. But study it. And when you put it in the practice, and when you study your current ads versus ads that are actually working, and you see the differences, and then start applying and making changes and iterating and getting better through each test and through putting the repetitions in, then your skills will be developed enough to make a winning ad. Now, the other main problem I see is that when you're testing products, you have no plan. Golly, I am absolutely dyslexic. But you have no plan. This means that when you are creating ads, you usually make a few ads, or you rip a few ads, and then you test it and you hope for the best. There is no rhyme or reason as to what you are actually doing. Why is that a problem? Because almost any dropshipping product with the right criteria can be a winner. The only reason why it won't be is because you just didn't discover the right angle yet. So as a marketer, your job is to give yourself the most shots on goal. You just need to score one goal. You just need one winning ad. So in order to do that, what I believe is the best process is study your audience. Notice if there's one or two major audiences. If there's two, okay, we will make ads to those two audiences. Then try multiple frameworks to each one of those audiences to try to give yourself the best chance of discovering which framework works the best at articulating the value of your product while still being entertaining and creating enough curiosity for people to watch your ad to the end, to actually be sold on what your product does and the use cases and the benefits and the transformations, so that they click your link, so that they actually give it a shot and buy your product. You cannot do that if you have zero plan. So what I always recommend, I apologize, I'm sick. We're going to keep going. Keep the show on the move. Is 4 frameworks. Going on to my Notion doc, as you can see right here, I will always do typically 2 image frameworks, 2 video frameworks. I love images because they're so efficient, they're so easy to do, and we will talk about that when we are making ads a little bit later on, because I'm just going to choose a random product and we're going to do it. But essentially all you need to do for most of these image ads, get a good headline. Get a good headline, split test it. You choose a template, you can have 4 or 5 different headlines, still have the same image, and that's 4 to 5 different ads that will perform completely different from each other. Crazy how that works. Video ads. All you really need to do, choose your framework, write out the body and the call to action once, write 4 different hooks, you have 4 ads right there. It's magic. Crazy. It makes a difference though. So, what should we do? And let's actually apply this, because now we know the scripting is really the number one issue, and that stems from a lack of research, and that stems from you being over-reliant on AI tools. So we have to study, we have to notice the trends, and we have to have the mindset of what's in it for me. We need to be able to sell to our audience like we're speaking to them, like we're their friend, like we care about them. Like we want to kind of recommend this product to them that actually will improve their life. So let's pick a product, let's study a few ads, and let's make a winning ad from scratch. We'll do some image ads. We'll pick one image ad framework. We'll pick one video ad framework. And we'll just get right to it. So we're going to hop on a Calendar data right here. I have done zero research. I put in the filter 30 to 135K. That's what I usually like to do. We'll do revenue source as video. We'll do growing. And let's just see if we can find a product real quick. I don't want to spend too much time on this because this isn't really the most important part. What's the important part is to actually show you the process of researching an audience, picking the frameworks, and writing out the scripts. Now, obviously, keep in mind, I am a trained professional. Do not do this at home. I have done this a million, gazillion, trillion, quintillion times. So picking a product. We want a problem-solving product, ideally, that solves a real problem for people. There was a few options there. I'm not going to be too picky. All right, so we got a bag. Do we got anything interesting that I actually would consider selling on my own? I know I'm being a little picky. Okay, let's do the pregnancy pillow. Obviously, a little bit of a saturated product. Who cares? We'll get right into it. When I choose a product like this, I know nothing about why a mother would buy this. I'm assuming it is for sleeping better. Maybe that's a big problem for pregnant mothers. I don't know why, so I need to do some research. I also need to know, why is this a better product than all the other products on the market? I am assuming that, okay, my audience is problem aware. They know they have a problem. They're pregnant and they can't sleep. Wham. Cry me a river. But if that's their problem, then what solutions have they tried? Have they tried, I don't know, gummies, or maybe they can't do that. Maybe they can't try medication because maybe that'll affect their pregnancy. So they're looking for an all-natural solution. Maybe they tried other pillows, body pillows, but it doesn't have the specific shape that, oh, you can, cradle your legs around. It supports you. It's the best, most comfortable sleep of your entire life as a pregnant mother. And you're going to use this before and after your pregnancy. Who knows? These are all assumptions at the end of the day. They sound fluffy. They sound right, but we don't know until we do our research. So what should we do from here? Well, we begin the process of hopping onto Amazon. We are going to look up maternity pillow. We're going to try to find the exact one. And as we can see, we have a lot of options with a ton of reviews. So we're going to open this one. 89,000 reviews, clearly, ton. And it is practically identical, I would say. Yeah, basically identical. So what I'm going to do, the first step of researching, the first step of creating winning ads for images, videos, whatever it is you're going to hop all the way down here and you are going to read these puppies. And what you're going to do is you're going to read these puppies. You are going to copy them into a document. And I would say you're going to copy at least 10 to 15. Now, I'm going to speed run this process because, again, I know you have the attention span of a goldfish, and I don't want to lose you here. So keep with me. Hold on for 1 minute. So we're going to copy these over. Now, typically, I don't copy over the entire review. I actually do go through and read these. And then from there, I will just usually copy over like the 1 to 2 lines where I'm like, oh, that's really good. And it's the same thing. Like even bad reviews, I do want to copy those over because I want to know, what are the objections? That tells me a lot more in a lot of cases than the really good reviews, because a lot of times the really good reviews are quite generic and they kind of say the same thing over and over and over and over again. Okay, so we're going to go and we are just going to go to one more page. Wow, this one's super, super duper long. We are going to go here, just like that. Okay, and we'll copy 1 or 2 more. We'll be good to go. So as we can see, and it's asking me for my mother's email address. So that is not going to happen. Anyways, we got a few reviews. Now, obviously, if I had 10 to 15, what I would do next is I would use my ChatGPT prompt. So I have a prompt that speeds up this entire process. If you want access to it, comment ChatGPT down below. I got you. Now, from here, this does make the process tremendously easier because all I have to do is copy this big old prompt right here. And it is freaking out, but it is what it is. We don't freak out. We stay cool. And we're going to hop onto ChatGPT and we're going to input it. I also like to go and use the specific breakthrough advertising ChatGPT. Then from here, we are selling a maternity pillow. Maternity pillow. Just like that. And then we are going to drop in our reviews. Now from here, what's going to happen is ChatGPT is very smart. It is very efficient. It is going to do a full breakdown. And obviously the more inputs, the more reviews we have, the better it's going to be. So it's going to be a little bit weak because I am speed running this for the sake of this video, but it's going to come up with a decent amount of research for me. And who's my audience? If there's multiple audiences, is there multiple pain points? Blah, 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 blah. So let's see that. Okay. So potentially, pregnant woman most likely is the one main target audience we're going to hit. And we just need to find multiple frameworks of talking to them. Chronic pain sufferers, okay, potentially. My guess, if I read all the reviews, potentially I would do these top 2. In most cases, I end up doing the top 2 audiences. But just based on the imagery for this product based on the videos. I mean, let's actually, you know,
I will forever
watch one or two.
preach you getting
Pregnancy
yourself
pillow.
a mom thing. Is this one? It's a little bit of a knockoff, and
A little bit of a
for some
knockoff?
reason it has like this flat part that can be very.
Oh, I don't like that flat part either.
At night. Get yourself a mom cozy. It's awesome.
Okay, so I'm assuming main angle here, probably pregnancy.
Thank God.
I mean, look at that 6-second ad. How much money did this ad make? $9,000.
Thank God.
This is the second top performing ad. 6 seconds. Crazy. Okay. And that's why maybe this ends up being one of our frameworks. Product demo, 6 seconds. The target audience really seems to like this. And who are we to deny them? Replicate what's already proven. Don't reinvent the wheel here. If that's what works, that's fine. We could then gather 4 really good product demo shots, come up with 4 really good POV texts, and that's 4 combinations of this style of just a quick POV ad. So POV benefit. That is the framework. That is what I will call it. And that could be one of them that you add to your repertoire. If I go into my Notion real quick, right here, sorry, this was a brand I was studying, but if I go to my repertoire here of video ad frameworks, I don't even have that as a framework. So maybe that's one I want to start adding. This is the beauty of what happens when you study and do research on these products. You notice more frameworks that you can add into your collection that you can start testing, and potentially you may stumble upon a framework that really no one else is doing that ends up being the killer winner for you. Even though hypothetically, theoretically, it shouldn't be. Because it's like, yeah, why would a 6-second ad be the best performer? It doesn't create any curiosity. It doesn't even have a hook. It's doing nothing as to what the fundamentals are. But it works. And the fact that it works, we don't question that. If that's what our target audience likes, if that's what they're interacting with, then we play ball. So that could actually potentially be the video ad framework, but you're obviously not going to learn a whole lot if I just did that, because honestly, I could just whip up a few ad copies right there and then we'd be good to go. But let's see that problem solution ends up being one of the frameworks. This is usually the framework for most winning ads for really any like problem solving product in general. If you go on video and ad, you study them, most of them are going to do this. Now, what I've tended to notice after studying a lot of winning ads lately is that this style of ad that really works with problem solution is mentioning the problem in the hook, but then getting right into things. If we actually go to my video ad frameworks inside of Notion, most of these are a little bit drawn out where it's problem, aggravation, then solution. But for the most part, what I'm noticing working really well is problem, and then either you do some context or you just go right into solution. So here's why I'll never pay for a massage again. And then, okay, you give a little bit of context, or here's a problem. So I would actually have to know, I'm assuming, let's actually go to our ChatGPT here and see what are the problems. So main value proposition, sleep, yeah, kind of pain-free, improved sleep quality. Makes a ton of sense. I apologize for clearing my throat. I'm very sick. Sleeplessness, physical discomfort. That makes sense. Okay. So based on this, if we know this is the main problem that our target audience is having, insomnia, chronic pain, traditional pillows are just not providing them the support they need. That makes a ton of sense. They can't find the right sleep position. So they are having trouble sleeping. This is leading to overheating at nights because, other ones trap heat. Okay, those are all completely different hooks. So if I was to do a problem solution, let's really think about this for a second here. This is my thought process. The framework could be something as simple as this. So problem solution. What we're going to do, the hook is going to call out multiple problems. We are going to have 4 hooks, targeting 4 different problems. The body of the ad is all going to be the same, and we're going to have the same call to action. So what we should do is our target audience, we know for this problem solution, so this is the framework, is going to be pregnant mothers. Now, all of these essentially are going to be towards pregnant mothers because I just have determined in my head, because I'm such an alpha top G, that pregnant mothers is really the main target audience that I want to go for. So now that we've done and we've chosen our framework or problem solution, we are going to go right into things. Now, how do I write my hooks? I have a document. Again, templates. If you study thousands of winning ads and you write down the frameworks as to what they did in their hooks, you are set for life. Essentially, a document like this, all you would need. Take a screenshot, copy it over. I have another doc. I'll actually open it real quick called Hooks. You guys are getting all the juicy sauce today. And we'll probably end up just using one or two of these. Now, because I've done this process a million times, I already in my head can kind of feel like what is going to be the most relatable way of saying these hooks. But what I would recommend when you're a beginner, especially, when you have picked your product, watch the top ads, notice the hooks. Also, try to study winners from other brands selling your product to also see if there's any good headlines, any good hooks that you could potentially rip or end up adjusting just to get inspiration. You need inspiration. So what you can do, Facebook ad library. You can also just look up maternity pillow, so the name of your product, and then see what brands are selling it really well, and then go on Facebook ad library. Okay, so we got Tots Cave, Baby Bub. All right, so Baby Bub's running a lot of ads, and Mom Cozy's running a lot of ads. So let's look at Mom Cozy, because it's essentially the same exact product. We're going to do that on Facebook ad library. We'll probably watch a few of their ads. And they are a big, big brand. Look at them. Good for you, Mom Cozy. And then let's see here if we can find the pregnancy pillow. We won't spend too much time on this if we can't find it. Looks like they're selling a lot of different products. Honestly, this is a brand that I would probably want to actually go on their Facebook, or sorry, their website, and see if what other products they're selling, because this actually looks like dropshippers that have really built a huge, huge brand selling mom products. So good for them. But for the most part with these thumbnails, it doesn't look like those are the products. So let's just do real quick Baby Bub. And yeah, through this process, hopefully we can find something. I would look at the headlines. I would study their ads. Baby Bub. And then I would note down, like, what are those headlines? What are those trends? So right here is my second pregnancy, and during my first I used a tip. Yep. So here we go.
I got a new pregnancy pillow. My last pregnancy, I had one of those humongous, like, U-shaped pillows, and honestly...
Okay, so they're doing an unboxing angle. So potentially that could be a framework we try if we have the content available. Again, that's heavily dependent if you have the content available. But what I would notice, okay, what benefits is she saying? So she says, okay, most pillows are not that comfortable. Okay, probably, that it leads to overheating. Okay, so if she says any lines that I feel like are really good, then I'm going to copy those so I can sound as relatable as possible in my target audience, because this is a UGC influencer. She's actually been through this experience. She is going to describe the actual experience, the emotions, way better than I ever could, because I just simply have not been in that situation. Yet that is rare. Okay, so all of that in mind. Let's just say off the top of my head, hook one. So let's say the problem is, if we go back to our ChatGPT, because we do everything based on research, and then we do educated guesses and tries based on that. So customer pain points, sleeplessness, and physical discomfort. Okay, so they are having pain, physical pain when sleeping. If you're a pregnant mother who's tired of current situation, who's tired of waking up every morning in pain, then keep watching this video. Or this will change your life, blah, 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 blah. Then this video is made for you, essentially. Okay, so we've addressed that pain point. Hook number 2. Is there another problem we can call out? So we can see and split test which problem is the right one that actually resonates with our audience the most. Okay, second problem. Back, neck, shoulder, and hip pain. So again, it's kind of similar framework. So we could try to write it in a different tone, so it could be a first person tone. I used to wake up with horrible hip and back pain. Every morning as a pregnant mom until I started doing this. So again, that addresses that pain point, calls out the target audience, and creates some curiosity because you don't know what's going to happen next. Struggle to find. So let's just do one more that's a problem, just so you guys get the gist. So overheating. Okay, so this would be that I've tried other products. And again, this is just me off the top of my head here, so they might not be perfect. It's also 4 a.m. So let's say, for instance, overheating. I have tried, and again, when you have a hooks document like this, then you can just like kind of plug and play, and then you know, okay, things that helped me with my overheating problem. I finally found a way to quit, avoid painful alternative, blah, blah, blah. If you're like me and want desire, that makes sense. If you're like me and you want to sleep like a baby while being pregnant, then this is perfect for you. That honestly, I do like to have benefits sometimes as my hooks. instead of just all problems. So that also could be another one. So that could be hook number 4. Let's actually we are going to do hook number 4 because I'm an overachiever. So what was the hook template there? Okay. If you're like me and you want to sleep like a baby during your pregnancy, then this pillow is made for you. Beautiful. So that one's a benefit. So because maybe doing a benefit in the hook actually resonates and gets more people interested than mentioning problems. But we could do this one. I've tried every single maternity pillow, and I would always overheat until I tried this one. I hear noises in my kitchen and I live alone, so I think a robber is here to kill me. Well, if this is my last video, you know what happened. Anyways, okay, so getting into the body. So now we know hooks are written out. When it comes to the bodies, we're going to make these exactly the same among all the ads. So typically, this is where I would highly recommend you go on to Calidata, you notice the trends. How are the frameworks like? How do they get into their scripts? Go into PP ads, do the same thing. Now, what I personally noticed after doing my own research this week is that after hooks, people would just get right into selling the product, right into like 2 to 3 benefits. So usually it's 2 to 3 benefits, use cases, etc. Potentially 1 social proof, and this would be like a UGC clip, where like someone's talking directly to the camera. You actually have a human talking instead of an AI voiceover, because these are all going to be written by, said by AI voiceovers. Then call to action. No need to overcomplicate it. So in terms of getting those benefits, what benefits actually matter to our target audience? So this allows them to stand out. Makes sense. Market awareness level. So they know that there are maternity body pills, which makes sense. So we need to convince them why this is better than all the other alternatives. So stronger, cooler, cozier, provides them more support. Love that. That makes a ton of sense. So going down here, I'm going to say writes 10 benefits for video scripts that talk about how our product is better than all the other maternity pillows on the market. And let's see what it comes up with. I like this one. This makes sense. Yeah, how the shape on the other ones, it just doesn't really stay in the same shape. So we're going to do... if you're a pregnant mother who's tired of waking up every morning in pain, then keep watching this video. And then, okay, we want to write this in a relatable way, like we're talking to a friend. Most maternity pillows, collapse, flatten, or lose shape. So obviously we're kind of getting to 2 problems at once. Or lose shape, or you could even get right into benefit, which is this is the only pillow. Actually, we could get right into the benefit. This is the only maternity pillow that doesn't lose shape and adapts to your body. And then why does that matter? Because that's a feature at the end of the day. So it adapts to your body. Why does that matter? What's the benefit of the benefit? It adapts to your body, so you get the perfect sleep. Perfect supported sleep every time. That's a real benefit. It's off the top of my head. So whether you're 3 months pregnant or 8, that's another great reason. So, and I actually kind of want to mention another feature in here. This is not a bad line, but can we mention another kind of benefit feature? So this pillow stays cool, breathes naturally, and keeps you comfortable whether you are. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. Let's grab this. And let's kind of morph it. This pillow. Or we'll just do it. It also stays cool, breathes naturally, and keeps you comfortable, which is perfect for whether you're 3 months pregnant or 8, recovering from surgery, or a heavy side sleeper. So that's a little long. It's a little long, but it's honestly not the worst. So realistically, from here, we could throw in a social proof or UGC clip. We could throw in one more benefit. Let's see, I kind of like this as like an emotional thing. Like as soon as you let it wrap around you, you are going to you don't just sleep, you disappear. Yeah, there's a few things. Let's see, is there one more that I really like? Okay, so they have a good guarantee at the end, but I don't want it to be super salesy, so we're going to get rid of that. So let's just do like an I love kind of sentence. I love that this stays where you put it and provides you the support your hips, back, and blank need. I think there was one more kind of, what was the problem if we go back? It was hips, back, and maybe neck. So let's do neck. Need to sleep at night completely pain-free. So obviously, this is a rough draft, but these alone are really detailed benefits. Now, when I read out a script, I read it in my head. I read it out loud to see how it sounds, and usually from there, I'm going to tweak it around. And I highly recommend when you write out any script, do that process, and usually you're going to probably have to make 3 or 4 versions of your script. So let's read this out. I tried every single maternity pillow, and I would always overheat until I tried this one. This is the only maternity pillow that doesn't lose shape and adapts to your body, so you get the perfect supported sleep every time. It also stays cool. It stays cool. I would say we can get rid of the word also, so that's why we do this. It stays cool, breathes naturally, keeps you comfortable. We could say the breathe naturally part we can even get rid of as well. So it stays cool and keeps you comfortable, which is perfect for whether you are 3 months pregnant or 8, recovering from surgery, or a heavy side sleeper. I love that stay where you put it and provides you this the support. We'll do provides the support. Provides the support your hips, back, and neck need to sleep at night completely pain-free. And then call to action could be as simple as like, if you want to get the sleep you deserve, blah, 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 check this out. It doesn't need to be complicated. I keep my call to actions to one line. And essentially, we've written it all out. Now, obviously, if I put in more reviews, if I actually got to read the reviews, if I got to read this detail a little bit more, because you just saw it as I saw it, I probably could have written a copy that's a little bit more relatable. I just wanted to kind of speed run it for you. Now, in terms of image ad frameworks, same kind of process, where really I would just choose an image framework that I feel like would apply for this product. So if I go back to my Notion, we'll go here. Now, we understood problem solution. We did that because the awareness level of our audience is that they know that there's other maternity pillows, but they are choosing between why this one is better than all the rest. So with that in mind, we are going to need to go back to ChatGPT, and we are going to literally tell it that. We need bullet points, benefits, and a direct comparison for an us versus them style ad that discusses and breaks down why my pillow is better than others. And that way, it'll just give you certain categories. And then, obviously, again, this is not going to be perfect. But it should give you a framework. It should give you some information. And from there, we should be able to, kind of break down, okay, whys are better. So, yeah, the full body support. Really, essentially, at the end of the day, This is the copy that matters. So cradles your head, belly, back, and hips for pain-free sleep. So I would adjust that, but that could be a good line. Only supports one or two areas, does not provide full body support. That's what we could say instead. So if we went, let's say, for instance, us versus them, I really like this style. This one's really strict and to the point. So obviously I'm not going to add all the images and do all that because that's going to take me another 10, 15 minutes just to find. But for instance, what I do, make a copy. So let's go and grab that. And then we will do a line break right here. Beautiful. All right, so cradles your head, belly, back, hips for pain-free sleep. And then the other one, the reason why it sucks, it's a piece of crap, it only supports one. So, okay. Does not provide full body support. And maybe we have to make the text just a little bit smaller because, we need to fit this on 3 lines. So, only supports one area. Let's do that instead. One area. Doesn't provide full body support. And obviously, we might have to drag these on up just to give them a little bit more space. We'll drag this on up as well. Obviously, we put the photo of the products here. Very simple. Logo I wouldn't need. Them I wouldn't need. So I would put the product here. We'd want to make sure these are aligned. Obviously, design principles. We have a whole video on image ads. But, okay, let's just gather the rest of the copy real quick. So what are the other kind of breakdowns? So breathable, cool touch fabric. Built for hot sleepers and pregnancy hormones. I love that. That's a great line. Cool touch fabric. So we're just going to, again, have to just shorten this down to the actual essentials. So cool touch fabric for and pregnancy hormones. Love that. And pregnancy hormones, and then we're just going to have to essentially grab this and we're going to drag it on up. Same process. Cool touch fabric. And then the other one, the reason why it sucks is because it overheats. You overheat, it traps the heat, essentially. Yeah. So hopefully you're getting the idea here. This copy's honestly not bad on its own. Like, I just need to do like a few little tweaks. Obviously with ChatGPT, it's never perfect. Overheats fast. Honestly, this copy though is like right to the point. So I like it. I wouldn't even change a thing about it. Gets everything across. And then just one more benefit. And then we're good to go. Obviously we'd have to put our imagery. So hold shape. I do like that. Hold shape. Detachable parts. Blah, 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 all these other parts. Don't think really matters. Yeah, I think these are the top 3. So I'd stick to 3. Essentially, we move that one on over. And then let's say, for instance, we chose a different framework. So an image framework where it's mainly headline driven, because that's usually how most image ads are. So for instance, big claim headline ad. Like, it's really about just having really good headlines. Same process. Put into ChatGPT. Write 10 benefit driven headlines that are 8 words or less. And then I would also write, while it's doing that, write 10 problem-aware headlines. So that way we can call it the problem instead, to see which one gets people to, again, click more often. Now, I would highly recommend, don't just use ChatGPT because Claude's also very good. I know this video is forever. You're probably not even getting this far. But I love both of those tools. They're both really, really solid. They give you great copy, and you can combine kind of the ideas from both. And through that, you can note down the headlines you really love. You can put that back in your document here, where you're putting in all the examples of the headlines you love, the benefits you love, the bullet points you love, because you're going to use that in your product description as well. It's not just your ad scripts. But when you do all this, I know this process took a little bit of time, but this is how you get the good ones. This is how you get the juicy, juicy lines. So still waking up sore and exhausted while pregnant. I'll probably add that just so that it can relate to my target audience. Or we could have an image of a pregnant mother, and that would get the idea across. Sleeping shouldn't hurt this much. Neck pain, back pain, no sleep. Calls out the audience. I love that. So obviously you get these ideas. From there, what you're going to do is you'll just pick your template, and you can gather these from creative.os. Yeah, they have a free trial, 3 days. Just steal the frameworks. Just steal them. And then from there, put in your product, put in your headlines, split test it. So for instance, if I was doing a big claim headline, I would choose 4 of the templates that I love, and I would really pick 1 or 2 headlines that I like. And you can make 4 to 5, even up to 8 ads just doing that alone. So that's the process. Hopefully that makes sense. This is how I create my winning ads. I don't overcomplicate it. It all stems from doing the research. I know we did a little bit of a speed run of the research. I do way more than this, probably 3 to 4 times more time and investment when it's not rushed like this. But when you do that, when you understand your audience, when you put the effort and reps in, study, what hooks are working, what frameworks are working. Because again, for that video framework, I think one of the video frameworks that we could try and would actually make sense to try is literally a 10-second ad like this, where it's a product demo clip, and then we just have different POV text of benefits and different POV text of problems. And that could end up being the top performer. And if that ends up being the case, then we just do more ads like that. And that's so easy to do. So it never hurts. Always be split testing. Do things strategically. And you will have a much higher chance of discovering your next winning ad.